The inspiration for starting the business originally was I actually used to be a bit of a shopaholic, and one day realised I was broke and needed to rent out my spare room to sort of subsidise rent. So I had to clear out the wardrobes in order to make space for someone coming in and put everything into packing boxes, and then was pretty horrified with myself, the amount of clothes I had that I just didn't wear. And I actually did quite an embarrassing exercise where I calculated how much money I'd spent over the years on accumulating all these clothes that I'd never worn, and I was like, this is just ridiculous. So I looked at the local market and realised there was nowhere I could actually sell these clothes on. They were all sort of high street brands with a couple of sort of higher end pieces in there, but predominantly high street brands, and there was nowhere to sell them. So I thought, do you know what, there's a gap in the market, I'm going to do it. The biggest achievement has been the same thing as the biggest challenge, actually opening the doors on the 22nd of January. Our contract was really behind schedule, so it gave us very little time to actually pull the shop together once the construction had been done. The team really pulled together. We had loads of people down here helping, which was absolutely amazing. And even on the night of the 21st of January, the day before opening, we were pretty unsure we were going to make it. And we walked in on the morning of the 22nd, and we were ready to go. So it was such a huge achievement, and I was on such a high for that day, that week, that month. It's been amazing. I think my biggest calling in life is helping to save the planet, and in some small way I'm doing that with Retold. We're trying to combat textile waste and help the fashion industry reduce its carbon footprint, because it is actually the second biggest polluter next to big oil and gas. My biggest piece of advice to people looking to start up in the UAE would really be find your community before you start. So really connect with people who understand what you're trying to do, people who want to support what you're trying to do, and make sure you support them in return. Doing business here really is about the right connections, and finding those people before you start means you have the network in order to get through all the hurdles that you'll face. So another piece of advice I would give entrepreneurs is do your due diligence. Really look at the market, look at who your customers are going to be, do your research, find out who your suppliers are going to be. Put all of that in place before you start. Will save you a lot of headache. It will cost you more money than you think it's going to. So make sure you've got a bigger runway than you think you can manage, because it is going to take more time. It is going to take more money. I think the greatest piece of life advice I've ever received is to never give up. You know, I think that comes all the way back from, you know, when my parents were teaching me to walk and teaching me to ride a bike, and the swimming training when I was a kid, and studying for exams, is don't give up, because you're never going to achieve it if you give up. And that's really stuck with me. I've done a couple of big challenges recently in my life, namely the business, but I also went to Everest Base Camp. And the one thing that kept me going the whole way was just don't give up. So it's definitely something that's stuck with me throughout my years. So my biggest lesson in life has been to never give up. It's something I've learned about myself over the last 5 or 6 years, that I really do have quite a lot of perseverance, and obviously that comes with learning that from my parents, from my family, from everyone around me, just to keep going and believe in yourself, because that at the end of the day is the only person who's ever going to hold you back is yourself. But by believing in yourself, you really can achieve what you set out to do. I've actually got several favourite sayings and mottos, and I've gone as far as actually putting them on the walls around the shop. One of my favourites at the moment is "What would Wonder Woman do?" It's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. You know, she's obviously a very strong female character, superhero if you like. I think one of the ones that really resonates with me at the moment is "I didn't come this far to only come this far." Again, that really sits in line with sort of my strength of will to never give up, and to know that there's still more of the journey to come. What I know for sure is who I am as a person.